Hi, I'm Jim Kineski from Tees Golf Academy, and in this segment we are going to be talking about the grip. The grip is probably the most important of the four basic static fundamentals to your golf setup. What we see in a lot of our students here, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 that I've come across in our academy when they first come to us, is a very familiar grip problem, and a lot of it has to do with a poor concept that they learned either in a book or from a friend or something along those lines. And by that, what I'm really talking about is where we place the grip in our left hand for right-handed golfers, and of course the right hand for a left-handed golfer, but where we place it in that left hand. And what we see a lot of, I just want to kind of talk about how negative this position is. And what this position is essentially across the middle of our hand, which is what we call in the palm. And when I wrap my fingers around and get my thumb on, you can see how the capitate joint, or the joint that is really responsible for mobility in the wrist, right, really gets shut down. And we don't get a very good relationship in our left wrist at all. So, again, if we can create good mobility and power in our wrist, we're going to end up creating more accuracy. So how do we get away from gripping in the palm? Well, there's one thing would be to grip it down along the base of our fingers, right? And what ends up happening is that palm, or the top of that capitate joint, actually gets released, and we create more mobility, strength, and power in that wrist, and ends up resulting in more accuracy in our golf shots. So it's really the first thing that we look at, is where the left-hand grip is in our club. All right, so I hold here in my hand a very familiar tool to a lot of men and women out there. If you are anything experienced in carpentry or construction working, or just being handy around the house, you definitely held a hammer, and I would expect that most people have actually attempted to, or tried to, or are very good at hammering a nail into a wall. So when I sit there and I look at a lot of men that come to us here at the academy, the first thing I ask them is, how do you hold a hammer? And automatically what they do is they grab the hammer in the left hand, or in the right hand, sorry, and what happens is they grab it almost perfectly in the base of the fingers, right along the base, and they grab it in a way that just, they were going to hammer a nail in. It would be so powerful and accurate, and they would never miss the top of that nail. Now, if you have a problem hammering a nail into a wall, it might be because you grip it too high in the palm, right, covering that really important capitate joint in our wrist. And what ends up happening is you just don't get that same effect with the hammer. So again, very, very important that, and a very good thing to do would be to go to the closet or go to the tool shed, grab a hammer, right, and really dissect where the hammer lies in your hands. Same thing goes for hockey players. Hockey players, they grip the stick almost near perfectly in their hands, right? And again, that is to create the most accuracy and power in their hockey shots. And the same thing with a hammer and a nail, right? Bang. That's what they want to produce, is a lot of power and accuracy in being able to deliver the hammer to the nail over and over and over again. Same thing in golf. When we take a golf club in our hand, right? Nothing should really change. It'd be just like grabbing a hammer, right? Bang, into our hands. We got that grip on there. Capitate joint is nice and free. Again, there is a certain routine. There is a certain way to get the hands on the club. Again, that's something that we really work hard on in the first session when people come and see us. But if you think you have a poor grip, or you know that your grip isn't perfect, or you just have a problem where shots just aren't consistent and accurate, do check your grip. Make sure that you're not covering that left capitate joint, or the left palm is not being covered by the grip. Get it down into the base of the fingers, wrap it around. If we have a good grip, we should see 2.5 knuckles on my left wrist, and we should see, or on the left hand there, and then we should see about 2 knuckles on the right. And in the end, if we can get a good grip on the club and get started in that direction, we will become a much more powerful and accurate ball striker in the long run.